Good morning. How are you? Well, the sun is out, but we've lost that warmth. We're with wind chill in the 30s, and without wind chill, we're in the 40s, and not bad, but yesterday spoiled us. Taste of spring too early. On the Hill, we have major confrontations. The dispute, really, when it's not even called that, but it is without doubt, the debate between those of us who favor democracy and those who favor autocracy. The Republicans fall in the latter camp because they realize unless they're going to change their agenda from Wall Street to Main Street, make their tent bigger, they have to control the vote. And autocracy and this poisonous disinformation campaign is the only way they can see to do it. Yesterday, DeJoy was on the Hill, the head of the post office, the Postmaster General, and he was explaining how he's going to, cut retirement. He's going to do things that we're going to perhaps slow down the mail more. It's going to cost more. All of these things. Benjamin Franklin is probably jumping around in his grave. Well, he also said quite arrogantly, get used to me, I'm going to be around for a while. Well, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but it's pretty close. It certainly was the sentiment. And you'll be glad to hear, if you haven't already, that Biden is filling 3 of the state seats on the postal board so that he may be able to vote out our boy, Postmaster General, no longer DeJoy he ever was. At that same hearing, No Jacket Jordan got into it, basically saying that the campaign against DeJoy was really a campaign against Trump. Excuse me. The, quote, campaign against DeJoy was about him compromising the mail system to compromise the delivery of mail-in ballots. And luckily, this scheme was uncovered early enough for America to change state laws, to organize to vote by mail-in ballot. And so luckily they showed their hand early enough that we managed to elect Biden instead, because we knew how to get out the vote in the middle of a pandemic. Now, Jordan, he attacks the Democrats, and my good friend Irishman Jerry Connolly showed some Irish coming back and saying, look, you guys are against the Democratic government. You guys were for an insurrection. And he wasn't the only one who pushed back against the Republican tilt toward autocracy, the arc toward a monarchy. And last night, there was a congressman, Democrat, who did everything he could to defeat and stall the naming of a post office by a Republican who had taken autocratic positions, who had supported, in essence, the insurrection, given aid and comfort by his votes. Now, some people think the Democrat went too far, and maybe that's true, but I think the underlying push is to say, you have no business in the Congress if you're going to favor an autocracy when our government is a democracy. There was also an attack on the Republican minority leader, McCarthy. And the argument continues about the membership of the Commission on the Insurrection. As you know, I'm opposed to it, but it tells us how the Republicans want to dominate it in some way so they can twist the message into being something else. Now, this is within days of CPAC, the conservative PAC, having its gathering this year in Florida instead of D.C., so that the man in the lair can come out and give his first speech since he was unceremoniously departed from D.C. And as for his lair, apparently he's living alone in a room separate from his wife, and he sits in it when he's not at the golf course. And I guess he's like, maybe he thinks of himself like Napoleon at Elba, planning his return. Of course, there are civil and criminal cases that threaten to frustrate that. The children in the family, I guess especially Don Jr., is thinking of his political career. And I'm hoping and expecting that Trump will say the kinds of things in his speech, I think it's this weekend, that will encourage those of us who favor democracy to anticipate the midterm elections and to help us win those seats. The country is not unified, but the tilt is in our direction. We just have to keep doing what we're doing. So have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. All the best. Bye-bye.